Good evening, Facebook. This is Joel with Overcome Evil with Good. Tonight I want to talk about the word imagine. Okay, now, all right, imagine. Well, here's what I want you to do. If you have gone through a hard time, if you have gone through a toxic relationship and you've been hurt, just today, last couple days, I've been able to have privilege of talking to people that has gone through this. And I say the privilege because I get to speak with you. I do count that as a privilege. I wish I could speak to a lot of you. However, obviously that's impossible. But it's also very hurtful. As close as things are with me that I hear about brokenness, it's tough to hear. I have learned to do a little bit better at not carrying that. I carry things to God instead of carrying it on my own shoulders because I can't do anything. I can give you direction. I can give you possibly some hope, but in reality, there's nothing that I can really do but be that listening ear and that sense of security that I have been through it, and you can get through it too. But I want you to imagine, okay, so think about that term. Think about all of the things that have been created out of imaginations. And your imagination is so powerful that people can create things constantly out of their own mind, out of their own experiences, and then they put two and two together and develop things that are fascinating. Artwork and where you if you could just see into people's brains, just imagine. I heard about a guy who was in an art studio here in town. The woman said that when the guy when he hears things, he hears them in colors. He's got a little bit of a unique personality and what the world would say maybe is a handicap. But can you imagine listening to music and seeing color? Wow, okay. So we've established imagination, the power of imagination. I want you to imagine something for just a moment. I want you to imagine that you've never been hurt, okay? That you are free from the hurts of this world. You're free from the hurt that you have in your heart. You're free from the damage that was done. You are free. You see, here's the wonderful part about this. Now, I'm not acting like it can happen overnight. I'm not acting like that it can happen, just because I'm come on here on Facebook and I say imagine, okay? But what you have to do is you have to envision what you would do if you didn't have the hurt and the pain inside of you. To me, that's how I healed. Okay, I mean, I've got a lot of other things that I could tell you too, but you have to sit there and imagine what would I do and what would I be and if I wasn't carrying around all of this pain inside of me. See, the problem is while we were hurt, and so you're going to have to go through some of the grieving process. Just this morning, I'd like to expound on this sometime, possibly, but there were inner recesses of my heart that I did not know that needed healing. And somebody was able to share with me things and I burst into tears and I hyperventilated crying because I did not know, because I couldn't imagine that I even had this hurt. But now that this is off to the side, all it does is free me up for more ability to receive love and to give love. Okay, and I'm not even talking about just a romantic type love. I'm talking about loving my children. I'm talking about loving people that don't deserve to be loved. I want you to imagine all of that gone, all of this just taken off your shoulders. I want you to feel what it feels like to be free. Now, God says that we shall know the truth. Jesus spoke this. He said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free, or other versions say set you free. And the more truth that you have and the more truth that you live out, the more free you are. I find my own mind is the only thing that keeps me from living a free life. Now, because here's what it is. You can be in jail, if you will. You can be in prison, and you can be free in your mind. We find, in the Bible, in the book of Philippians, and that the Apostle Paul talks about the word joy. That's the theme of that book, and he is in prison. And this isn't the kind of prisons that we have today where, you're enjoying television or playing games or being able to work out. And I'm not saying prison is fun. I preached in prisons. I've been inside them. And no doubt the difficulty. But a lot of us are in our own emotional prisons, okay, that we need to be able to get free of. We need to have the imagination cap. Remember when you were a kid and a teacher would tell you to close your eyes and put your imagination cap on? That's what I want you to do. And I want you to, every day, if you can, just imagine what you would do, how you would think, the pressures that you would not feel, all of these things if you were completely free. Wow. Imagine what you would do. Now, here's what I want you to do is I want you to carry some of those out. I want you to walk it out and say, this is what I do. Now, then try to go and do some of these things, because the more that you imagine something, the more that you want something. Just like that's what they do with commercials. Imagine you behind the wheel. And you're sitting there and you're going down the road, and people are looking at the car and they see you behind it. You're looking inside the dashboard and you're seeing all these new features. You're smelling this new leather, and you have they're trying to get your imagination working so that you can picture you owning that car for just a low price of $499 per month for the next 60 months or more, whatever that would equate to, and with a nice large down payment. But anyway, we're not worried about that, right? But the thing is, I want you to know that there is a price to pay. Now, when I say that there's a price to pay, I'm not putting a negative slant on that. If you want to go in to the healing and feeling that, you have to go through it. When you dance around issues, you will, or if you just cope with the issues, you're not actually dealing with them, you'll find yourself not in the place that you want to be a year from now or years from now. It takes yourself being vulnerable again. Now, I'm not here to tell you how long that journey is to be for you, but I'm here to give you encouragement that there is an end to this journey. There is an end to this tunnel. It's like going through boot camp and it's just so horrible and miserable, but there's a day where you graduate and you become, you become that officer, you become that private, you become that, whatever branch of military that you're in, you become that, and you've accomplished something. There's a day that you're going to look back and realize what you accomplished. And when you imagine that, and imagine like I did, my last illustration, I remember going through high school and I got what they call senioritis, okay? If you don't know what that is, you get all excited, and my grades went from straight A's to, B's and things because I really I still had honor roll for the most part, but the point of that is is I got so excited I lost my vision. I lost my focus. It's just keep going. But I would look at graduation day and I would see myself walking down that aisle with the gown on and the cap on, and my name being read as I was handed my diploma. Well, your graduation day is coming. Whether you go through hurt and pain that never feels like it's ever going to end, just like freshman year of high school, and it never feels like it's going to end, this too shall pass. So I want you to imagine that. I want you to imagine that every single day, and I want you to keep working that goal. I want you to work that goal just like you did any other goal in life that you had, and you envisioned it and you kept going at it. And God gave us an imagination. And I'm going to encourage you to use it for your benefit. I don't want you to envision all the negative stuff and ruminate, what if, and we live in all these visions of bad. There was something that happened today that was totally no threat. But my brain automatically started going to, whoa, what if that? And I stopped myself because I'm training myself. And I said, how about this, Joel? Why don't you envision something great coming out of that? And you know what? The anxiety left. It takes a while to build up to that, but I want to encourage you. And that is what we do, and we can help others do that. We can feed life into others because of an imagination that God gives us. It is definitely a gift of God. Now, allow it to be used for good and not evil. And that is how we overcome evil with good. Until next time, join me, and I wish you guys a wonderful weekend. Take care.